I think that, the one thing about Pitt Pro Days, our kids come out and put on a show. I think, just always impressed with our kids' attitude, the professionalism they show when they come out here. I love the fact that we had a bunch of our guys come out. DeMar and Dane Jackson and Jason Pinnock come back to watch their brothers. I think that's so impressive. Like, they didn't have to do that. Like, why did they come back? It's family. It kind of just shows you, how our guys act, and they want to come see them, work out just for a pro day. A lot of great performances out there today, and I'll let you guys ask me some questions about pro day.
Is this one of your favorite days of the year?
No.
No?
No. Game day's the favorite, days of the year, but, I enjoy it. It's like when it gets here, just to see all these coaches, it's almost like a reunion with some of the coaches in here. They come in to visit, Jeff Stout, and I've known for a long time. Aaron Cromer, O-line coach for the Buffalo Bills. We were GAs together, so it's a little bit of a reunion. Those guys trust you as far as just, who our players are. But no, it's every day is a favorite day. I've never worked a day in my life, Jerry. So, but game days are the favorite.
And is it a reflective day at all, where you say, like, Cradle was here 6 years, look how far he's come to now be able to do something?
No question about it. And you think about these guys helped us win an ACC championship. A lot of them, not all of them, obviously, but it is for sure. You watch how these guys grow, and there's hugs out there. When they're done, it's like it's their last workout here at Pitt. Really, it's the last opportunity. We met yesterday as a group just to get them all, make sure their minds were right and they're ready to go, and they got everything they need. So it's like it's like you're walking them to that bus stop, the last bus stop. So it's fun.
We talked to draft experts. A lot of them are talking about Bub Means as rising stock. What do you think that if people don't know enough about Bub Means, what do you think that people are learning?
He's big and fast, and I think maybe the one thing people don't know about Bub Means is that he is a joy to coach. And I think there's so much. There's a lot of guys that can run out there. There's a lot of guys that can block, and a lot of smart guys out there who know what to do. But you want to coach guys that are that they enjoy the game and they come to work every day and they got a smile on their face. And when I go on the road recruiting, I'm looking for a smile. And sometimes they smile, then when they get there, they don't smile. But Bub Means has been just so much fun to coach since he's been here. There's never any issues. It's always every day is a positive day. It's just that's who he is. And I don't think there's any NFL team that wouldn't be better with Bub Means in their offense.
You've coached for a long time, and just speaking about Bub, just athletes that just make it look effortless, where does he rank up there for you?
He's up there, and again, he's a big athlete. He's a big one. You look at Tyler Boyd; he was so smooth and athletic, and but Bub's, we call him a monster receiver. There's burners and monsters. He's a kind of a monster that's kind of a burner when you look at his speed at the pro day, and his speed at the combine. So he ranks up there pretty high.
Who do you think today, based on the performance, might have turned some heads that was maybe a surprise to some of the scouts here?
I'd probably, everybody knows about Bub, and everybody knows about the guys who were at the combine. Obviously Matt and MJ. Everybody knows those three. I would say the one guy that my head would turn would be AJ Woods. AJ Woods had a great day, which I knew he would. And again, some guys are, pro day guys out here that can run around the cones really good. But if you look what he did out here today, and then you go back and put the film on, AJ Woods is a good football player.
You've had a lot of defensive backs drafted recently, and thinking back, Jason Pinnock didn't get a combine invite. Can you see that with AJ Woods possibly?
No question about it. AJ Woods, has got a really good chance of getting drafted. I think people would be crazy not to draft that guy, especially with all the success we've had, in our secondary. So, I'll be looking for his name to be called on draft day.
The press man that you guys play here, that helps some of these guys as they go to the next level, doesn't it?
It really does, Jerry. You think about that's what they do in the NFL. They're out there pressing. They're not playing a lot of zone coverage and letting those guys get in zones. You better be able to play man coverage, and that's why our guys have had so much success. Whether it's Avonte Maddox or Dane Jackson or Damari Mathis, that press and what we teach, and Coach Collins and Coach Sanders, the work they put in the back end with the structure of what we do defensively, I think really helps them. I think there's a confidence thing too. If you're doing it every day for 5 years, you think about it, and then you get there, and then all of a sudden you're going, oh, I did this all, my whole career. It makes it easy, and you have confidence when you get into that NFL camp. as opposed to maybe playing somewhere where they don't press their corners and all of a sudden it's brand new for them when they get to the league and all of a sudden they start to get nervous. It ain't easy sitting up there, unless you're pressing Jerry all day. Jerry can't get a release, can you?
My back hurts right now. But maybe tomorrow.
So maybe tomorrow. But so I think that's it's the confidence of doing it because you do it every day. There's no, oh wow, what is this?
Do you think your defensive backs have a certain type of mental toughness from being put on islands for years in your defense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that, I think all of our guys have, some type of that mental part of you better have mental toughness, but they certainly do, and you have to, and you have to have a short memory too, because the media will get after you if you give up a big one. You press.
We're going to take 2 more. We have Matt on deck, and I know he's got some meetings. So
He's got dinner tonight.
2 more. Anything, Chris?
Jake said that Matt only got to really train for like 3 whole weeks to get ready for this after his injury and everything. What does it say that he's able to get that quick of a turnaround to have the kind of performance he did?
Well, I mean, I just watch him at the end there after a long day, starting, at 10:30 a.m. and probably started for him 2 hours prior to that, just mentally getting ready to go. But, I think he was limping a little bit at the end, which just tells you how tough he is. I mean, it just tells you toughness. I mean, that's who Matt is. I mean, he's played with injuries throughout his career. Everybody, again, that's the game of football. Everybody gets banged up, but he's tough, and that just tells you against on a short. And he was impressive as well. So throw that on top of it, and there's a little bit of a favor in I think that toe, but that's just a matter of time.
Corey, wrap us up.
Bub weighed at 227 today. I think he was at 212 at the combine for 15-pound difference between a month. I mean, is that something?
What did he run the 40 in today?
He didn't run the 40 today, but he was 4.43 at the combine.
well-
Like, to have that kind of body build, to be able to go through that kind of fluctuation in a month, what does that say about his work?
Tells you he was sucking weight for the NFL Combine, and then he was eating a lot of good food. He must have been back in Pittsburgh. Must have been back in Pittsburgh eating all the great food here. All right?